Over 10 laps. We've got 32 laps of action ahead. The man they want to beat desperately is Peter Goch in that Porsche, that RSR Porsche. Does so well on this thing. There's 34 cars in the field. There's a man, looks like Louis de Jager, started right at the back of the field as they stream through it. Once again, it's Goch in the front, then it's Chris Costas. Then it should be Louis de Jager, Clive Wilmot in that little Lotus 7. No, he's not in there. There he is going through there. Now he's lost a place or two on the run away from the line. It's Goch. He's a hard man to beat. He lapped within, there was a 0.1 of a second faster than Costa. And there's that big Mustang looking lovely. And then we've also got Andre Hannibal in that the big Batman BMW that was renowned there for being driven by the likes of Hunched, a lookalike motor car, as they tear through some very quick escorts too. These cars have done great service in South African motorsport over the years. Those lovely little Lotus 7s. The lookalikes are the Frick van Heerden car that's made in Cape Town. Here comes Goch. He looks in his mirrors. Chris Costas is with him. He's got a Porsche engine too. It's Porsche 1 and 2. Then we've got Louis de Jager next. Clive. No, it's not Clive Wilman. Looks like Eric Salomon. He went off in the first race. Had a spin-off which put him way back in the field. There he's lying in fourth spot at the moment. And an escort of Mike Ward is it. He's in there and he's going like a rocket. Really, that little escort is staying with him. Number 9 comes, 8 comes through. That's Louis de Jager. Very nicely turned out motorcar. The Vodacom Tiga is doing well as he goes around the Conti sweep, heading towards us. But Peter Goch is almost unbeatable in this class of racing. One of the men that does give him a lot of trouble is the Chevron, and that's Gary Dunkley, not down here at the Van Riebeek Trophy meeting here at Cape Town. Kalani's packed. They're here for the Engine Super Touring Car International, and they've had their money's worth today. It's been great racing.
Yes, certainly has, Roger. And, you know, we've seen some magnificent racing in the historic and the classic races as well, with all these minis. We've got an AC Cobra there, GSM Dart, Escorts. There's an Anglia out there, a lot of the Lotus 7 replicas. We've seen the Porsche. What magnificent range of motor cars we've seen, and these cars are so well prepared. They look magnificent. And not only that, there's a few of them that really fly. There's some flyers. Peter Goch is absolutely flying around. Chris Costas, Louis de Jager in his home-built Elf, which is a replica of Eric Salomon's Lotus 23B. Magnificent motor cars. It's got a 2-litre Alpha engine in, and doing a great job is Louis. He finished third in the first race, and he's running at third place now. Watch these minis. Here comes the Lotus 7. There's a big Cobra as well. A red Cobra chasing him down the back straight. There's an Alpha. This Alpha looks like a... No, that's not Streppy. I thought that was maybe Streppy. Very well-known Alpha that I think won the South African Championship many years ago.
I love that big Cobra, Basil. That big Cobra is superb. It's a 6-speed Cobra, that one. And that's Clive Corder's one. It looks magnificent. A lot of these open sports cars, and overseas, of course, GT racing and sports cars are starting to make a comeback. They like to see the drivers in the open cockpits. Those little Lotus 7s that go around here like motorcycles, they grip the road like glue. They've got some potent motors in the front. Some have got Alpha motors, some have got Ford motors. And just look at them. Really, they really don't slide away at all. Here's the Cobra. Looking nice. There's a whole big movement here in South Africa with these Cobra replicas. The Cobra Club is very big, and hearing the sound of those big V8 engine becoming very, very popular indeed. But it's Goch in the front. He's leading now by 5 seconds, and we've only done 2.5 laps onto the brakes here. Of course, a South African champion in saloon cars and sports cars. Peter Goch is a very hard man to beat. Only man who could do it last week was Gary Dunkley.
That's right. You know, Peter Goch, no young man anymore. There's some smoke. There's smoke coming out of the back of that car, and that is that tyre smoke, is it engine smoke? It appeared to me as if it might have been coming out the exhaust. That would be fatal for that very quick Porsche of Peter Goch. But even at his age, here comes the car electric Elf of Louis de Jager, and there's Eric Salomon not too far behind. Eric Salomon has suddenly at this race been found about 2 seconds a lap. Normally he runs closer on Louis' tail, but in qualifying he was 2 seconds a lap quicker than Louis de Jager. He has Johan van Black going through in the silver 7 replica, the FVH replica, Lotus 7 replica. Lovely motor car, well driven, and Johan van Black really knows how to pedal, as do these two guys. Louis de Jager is very quick. You can see those cars are absolutely identical. Here comes your favorite once again, Rog, that Cobra, and he seems to be going quite quickly. And
I love the sound of that V8 engine. Here comes some of those inevitable Alphas. We've seen them racing in South Africa. The GTs, the GTVs. We've got Julius as well. Look, and here's the little Fiat 124 Sport. That's actually the champion of the historic classic car register. And here's the Rover, and that sounds lovely. And the Mustang. Oh, the cars that we've all seen racing over the years. Very hard to compete with a modern car like this Porsche.
Great, there's our leader once again, and that is Peter Goff. But that Rover you saw in picture a short while ago, that's a very quick motor car. Here comes Peter through the kink before he heads down the main straight, over the start-finish line. And he has a Valiant as well. Looks like
lovely. We've got everything. But I tell you what we were saying now about that smoke coming out from under the Porsche. I think it could just be tyre smoke. The car's got so much power, and when those, mind you, look at it. A lot of smoke out. That's not tyre smoke. I think it's coming out of the motor. Yeah. And Chris Costas might just be closing on him. There's some of the Alphas coming up towards us. Valiants, as you say, Chris Costas in the distance in that Porsche Tiga. Louis de Jager's in there. He's got that Alphas, they call it, which is basically a replica of the 23B Lotus. Lovely little motor car. Look at the speed he passes these other guys.
Yeah, Roger, watching Peter Goff drive, one just realizes that really he's got a quick car, but there's no substitute. Although Peter Goff must be closing on 60 already, if he isn't 60 years old already. But there is no substitute for talent and experience. And Peter Goff has got both. And besides that, he loves the sport, he loves racing, he loves driving that car. And we can see it shows through. He's so quick. And I don't believe there's many guys out there that can actually drive that car as quickly as he does.
Well, a big worry for the wife as well. Of course, the older people remember that he was very badly burnt in that the Mazda that he drove in Salisbury years ago, now Harare. And we were sharing with Basil Florent. The car went into a fireball. He's had tens and tens, about 50 operations of skin grafts and everything, of plastic surgery. And he was very, very badly burnt. I don't think they were too keen in coming back to race. He'd won 2 South African championships. He'd done all he had to do. He came back and won the West Bank Modified Class A in the most powerful cars in that class. And here he's back in front of these classic cars. So a very capable driver. Chris Costas comes through in second spot. There he comes through in the Tiga. There's the third man now. Is Louis de Jager, the local man, looking very good in that car. And we've got the little, what is that, a dart has gone off. It's a little GSM dart. Has gone into the tyres coming out of
Cotty corner down the end of the main straight. He'll want to bring it back out wide before he sets the car up into the right-hand corner. Exactly what he does. He gets back hard on the gas and he heads up towards Sabat for the last time.
He certainly does. He passed the Valiant, the Chrysler there of Francois Oosthuizen. A very quick one, in fact. You don't see them handling quite that well. He's been well looked after, and all these cars prepared and kept going with loving care. A couple of those Lotus 7s and Frick van Heerden 7s and Birkin 7s. As he tears down towards us, top speed of that motor car will be about 280 km an hour. As an Escort goes off coming out of, there's a big wobbly head coming out of Conti corner, coming up the Jabir straight. And we've got the last corner. The checkered flags are in sight. Starts powering. It's just smoke from those back tires. That RSR Porsche is on its way, 911. The classic Porsche shape. Really, we don't see some of these drivers in the Porsche Super Cup overseas. I'm sure they would change. Here he comes. Peter Goff wins it. Just 10 laps, he just ran through them like clockwork. And there is Peter Goff. 2 wins for the day. Chris Costa, there he is second, coming past the checkered flag. Shows the end of motor race. Then we've got Eric Sellerman, did well there in third spot. And fourth is Mike Ward, he's come up. So a man we lost there in that one was Louis de Jager. He's gone further back in the field. Final results, Peter Goff is 1 and 2, Chris Costa second, Eric Sellerman third, Mike Ward in the 7 was fourth, fifth was Chad Kruger, and sixth was Stephen Miller.